Resource Access Manager, or RAM for short, is a service that lets you share resources with any AWS account or through AWS Organizations. So you create resources centrally, and then you use RAM to share those resources with other AWS accounts. Let's take a look at how it works. To get started sharing with other accounts, you have to get started in your management account. So in your console, after logging in, you'd head over to the Resource Access Manager service. From there, you'll be greeted with this page, and you can click on Create a Resource Share. But before we do that, I'm going to have you actually head over to Settings. And the reason we're going to do that is to enable sharing with AWS Organizations. When you first land on this screen, this will not be checked. So you'd want to check this box and then save settings. As you can see, I've already done that, and so it's completely grayed out. Next, after you've enabled this, we could head over to Shared by Me and then Resource Shares. This is where we can create that resource share and get started. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and click on the button, and then we can give it a name. But instead of naming something, I'm actually going to skip this step for now because I just want to show you which resource we'll be sharing. We'll have to create it, and then we'll come back and do that. So under resources, we can click on this dropdown and we can search for things. So for example, even though it's out of view here, I could search for incident manager contacts. We see we also have a response plans option, but I'll click on the contacts one. As we see here, we have no resources to display. So that's problem number one. We're going to have to create that first, and then we can come back here and do that. So in order to do this, first I'm going to search for incident manager dashboard and click on that. And this is going to be within the Systems Manager service. So we're under AWS Systems Manager. Under Operations Management, one of the features we have is Incident Manager. Now, my screen that I see here is probably going to be a little bit different than yours if you've never used this feature before. And you'll actually have a getting started or getting prepared workflow. We don't see it here because I have used this before for a test demonstration. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through it verbally, and then you'll be able to set that up if you're following along, and then you'll see this screen here. So before you can create contact details, you would need to click on Setup. There would be like a general settings option here. You'd click on Setup. And then you would agree to the terms and conditions, click on Next. You would select the KMS encryption that you want to use. I would recommend using AWS own keys so that we don't have to create a new key. In production, you'd probably want to use your own, but for demonstration, that cuts out a step. Then you would be asked about service access settings. And so you would want to uncheck creating service roles for findings in this account. Again, we'll look at that in another lesson. Then after that, you would create your contact. So that's kind of where we're at here. Now, I don't have that option on the screen. Instead, I have to click on contacts, but you likely would have it on your screen. Then I would click on create contact, and we could give this contact a name. I'll use the name of Christina. We can give it a unique alias like Christina again. And then after that, we can set the contact channel. For this contact channel, we have email, SMS, or voice options. I'll select the email option. And then for demonstration, I will just put email for the channel name and then support@cyber.com. Obviously, if this were a real person, you would put their email so that it goes directly to them or to a team, depending on how you're doing this. Then we have an engagement plan. Here we can select the channel that we just created, and then we can set an engagement time in minutes. So this is the minutes after the stage starts. You can set whatever you want here, but this represents how many minutes to wait before engaging the contact channel. So in this case, 0 minutes is just fine. Then we can go ahead and create this contact named Christina. Now, before this channel is usable, you do have to activate it with a unique code that you'll receive via the email that you used. So I'll go ahead and copy and paste that from my inbox, and then we'll click on Finish. And we're good to go. Our contact was created successfully. So now we can go back to RAM, and I closed the tab, so I'll navigate back to it within this tab here. And then we can click on Create Resource Share. And in this case, we can name it. So we'll do Share Incident Response Contact. Under Resources, again, I will search for Incident Manager Contacts. And this time, our Christina contact populates. So we can go ahead and select that. So we've got our selected resource. Of course, we would want a tag. We'll talk about tags in a separate lesson. And so we'll skip that in this case, and we'll click on Next. On this next screen, we need to set up permissions for which actions our principals will be allowed to perform on the shared resource. As you can see here, AWS pre-populates this with a managed permission that's called AWS RAM default permissions SSM contacts contact. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but since it's related to the resource we're trying to share, AWS automatically populates this in. SSM, again, is Systems Manager, which is where we created that contact. So I'm fine with this default, but you can take a look at the policy template and decide whether you need to use something else or not. And you can see what that looks like down here. You can also create a custom one if you want there. Let's go ahead and click on Next. And for our principals, we can either allow sharing with anyone or allow sharing only within your organization, which is what I'll select. As you can see here, we can share with other AWS accounts, roles, or users outside of our organization if we wanted to. So if we're an IT consulting or services company, for example, and we need to share something or whatever the use case may be. We can also display our organizational structure. So we can see the entire organization, infrastructure OUs, sandbox OUs, etc. So I'll actually expand the sandbox one, and let's go ahead and share this with, we'll do our example account. We could also share with the entire sandbox OU, but I'll just do the example account. And then we can select the principal for that account. As you can see, the account IDs match up, and then we'll click on Next. Finally, you review, and then you go ahead and create your resource share. Now I'm going to use the magic of editing. I'm going to head over to that other account of 488, I believe it was, and we'll take a look at the resource within that account. Now, if you don't remember which account it was, you can scroll down. Yep, it was 488, and it'll be under Shared Principals. So I'll be right back. So in this account that I shared with, I'm now authenticated. As you can see, it defaults to shared by me, but instead we want shared with me. So I'll go to resource shares under that, and I will see my share incident response contact that has a status of active. Depending on the resource, there could be a few minutes delay. So if you don't yet see it, verify that you're in the right account and also verify that the status is active in the sharing account. But once that's done, you can click on that and you can view the actual resource and its summary, ID, ARN, when it was created, and who actually owns it. But for more information, instead of going to resource shares, we can also go to shared resources. And now we'll see the actual resource, and we can click on it and it'll go straight to Systems Manager, and then in the Incident Manager and our contacts, and we can see the contact information. So in this lesson, we learned what Resource Access Manager does, and we saw how it can be used to share resources across our AWS accounts and organization, or even if we wanted to, across external AWS accounts as well. But keep in mind that RAM is not going to support all services and all resources. Unfortunately, I wish it had a little bit more support, but it supports a lot of different services, so you can always take a look and see what's there. It does have some restrictions that you could see from that dropdown when we were creating the resource share. But otherwise, that's it. Go ahead and complete this lesson, and I will see you in the next.